Stop everything. Just moments ago, Canada and Mexico finalized secret trade deals worth tens of billions of dollars, and the scale of these agreements is unlike anything seen in decades. This isn't just business. It's a historic shift that could reshape economies, create massive jobs, and shake the United States' dominance in North America. What you're about to see will reveal how these deals could impact millions, rewrite supply chains, and redefine power on the continent forever. The first reports emerged earlier this week, when government sources from both Ottawa and Mexico City hinted at secret negotiations spanning months. Details have been scarce, but early leaks suggest the agreements cover multiple sectors: agriculture, technology, automotive, energy, and even digital services. For years, Canada and Mexico have been important trade partners under the USMCA framework, but these new deals appear to go far beyond traditional trade mechanisms, signaling a level of bilateral cooperation that has experts speculating about the future of North American economics. What makes this development truly shocking is the speed at which these negotiations reportedly concluded. Officials from both countries have been unusually tight-lipped, yet insiders describe an agreement that could be worth tens of billions of dollars annually. If implemented, this could alter trade balances, redirect supply chains, and create ripple effects that extend to the United States, which has traditionally dominated North American trade negotiations. Political analysts are already weighing the ramifications. Some see this as a bold statement of independence by Canada and Mexico, signaling that they are willing to pursue their own economic strategies rather than rely solely on U.S.-driven frameworks. Others warn that the move could spark tensions, particularly in sectors where U.S. companies dominate. For example, automotive and tech industries could see shifts in production priorities, sourcing, and market access that favor Canadian and Mexican companies over American competitors. The economic implications are immediate and far-reaching. Agriculture, for example, could be a major winner in these deals. Mexico imports significant amounts of Canadian wheat, dairy, and other commodities, while Canada is a growing market for Mexican fruits, vegetables, and processed goods. By streamlining trade regulations, reducing tariffs, and opening new logistical pathways, both countries stand to gain increased efficiency and higher profits. Farmers and exporters on both sides of the border are watching these developments closely, knowing that the new deals could redefine what products are competitive and which regions benefit most. The technology sector is another area likely to experience massive change. Mexico has been rapidly developing its tech infrastructure and manufacturing capabilities, particularly in areas such as electronics and automotive components. Canada, with its strong tech and AI development centers, could complement these capacities by creating joint ventures, shared research projects, and integrated supply chains. This could make North America a global leader in innovation, while also challenging U.S. dominance in certain high-tech sectors. Energy is a third critical focus. Canada's natural resources, including oil, gas, and renewable energy infrastructure, combined with Mexico's strategic access to ports and expanding renewable initiatives, create opportunities for large-scale energy collaborations. Analysts suggest that coordinated energy trade could lead to more stable pricing, increased investment, and potentially even new energy export agreements to other continents. This could shift the geopolitical balance of energy markets, positioning Canada and Mexico as key players in global energy strategy. The political dimension is equally significant. By strengthening bilateral trade, Canada and Mexico are sending a signal to the world that they are willing to act strategically and independently of traditional power centers. Some observers argue this could encourage other nations in Latin America and beyond to pursue regional alliances and trade networks outside the shadow of the United States. Politicians in Washington, D.C. are reportedly monitoring these developments closely, aware that a significant realignment in trade dynamics could have electoral and economic consequences at home. Public reaction has been mixed but passionate. Canadian citizens are largely optimistic, seeing this as an opportunity for growth, innovation, and stronger global positioning. In Mexico, many view the agreements as a chance to increase exports, attract investment, and modernize critical industries. Critics in both countries, however, caution that rapid implementation without sufficient oversight could lead to labor disputes, environmental challenges, or unfair competitive advantages that favor large corporations over smaller businesses and local communities. Labor unions have already weighed in, emphasizing the need to ensure that workers benefit from any new trade arrangements. They warn that while corporate profits could soar, protections for jobs, wages, and workplace safety must remain strong. For both countries, balancing economic opportunity with social responsibility is critical to maintaining public trust and political legitimacy. Environmentalists are also closely monitoring the situation. Trade expansion, particularly in agriculture, energy, and manufacturing, carries potential ecological consequences. There are concerns that increased production and shipping could exacerbate carbon emissions, water usage, and habitat disruption. Negotiators from both countries are reportedly including environmental safeguards in their agreements, but enforcement and compliance will be crucial to ensure that economic gains do not come at the expense of sustainability. The global financial community has reacted with both excitement and caution. Investors are evaluating opportunities in joint ventures, stock performance, and supply chain restructuring. Economists are calculating potential GDP boosts, export increases, and currency implications. The scale of the deals is significant enough that some analysts are describing this as a game changer for North American trade, potentially redefining economic priorities for the next decade. Supply chain experts highlight that integrated Canada-Mexico trade could reduce dependency on distant Asian manufacturing hubs, shorten transportation times, and enhance resilience in critical industries. This could be particularly significant for electronics, automotive parts, and high-value goods, where speed, reliability, and cost efficiency are essential. Analysts note that this could encourage further regional self-reliance, reducing vulnerabilities exposed during recent global supply chain crises. The United States, as the third major player in North American trade, is inevitably impacted. While USMCA agreements still govern trilateral trade, a stronger Canada-Mexico partnership may shift bargaining power and influence policy decisions in Washington. U.S. policymakers are reportedly in discussions to evaluate their next steps, balancing the need to maintain strong relationships with both neighbors while protecting domestic industries. Social media has amplified the impact of these developments. Hashtags and discussion threads are trending across Canada and Mexico, with citizens debating potential benefits and risks. Some hail the agreements as visionary and historic, while others warn of unintended consequences for jobs, prices, and political alliances. Analysts emphasize that public perception will play a major role in how smoothly these deals are implemented and accepted by communities. Corporate leaders in both countries are moving quickly to leverage the new opportunities. Boards are restructuring plans, supply chains are being optimized, and cross-border collaborations are being initiated. Analysts expect that the next 12 to 24 months will see a wave of joint ventures, mergers, and industrial partnerships directly stemming from these agreements, potentially creating tens of thousands of new jobs and fostering economic growth in key regions. Financial regulators are also playing a crucial role. Ensuring that markets remain fair, that foreign investment does not create monopolistic risks, and that cross-border financial transactions are transparent is critical. Officials from both countries have stressed that oversight will remain strict, and mechanisms are being put in place to prevent abuse or unintended economic shocks. The education and research sectors may also see significant benefits. Joint initiatives in technology, engineering, agriculture, and sustainable energy are likely to expand, creating opportunities for students, researchers, and entrepreneurs. Universities and research centers in Canada and Mexico are reportedly exploring new partnerships that could accelerate innovation and strengthen regional expertise. Trade experts note that these deals could serve as a model for regional economic collaboration beyond North America. By aligning resources, industries, and regulations, Canada and Mexico could inspire other nations to pursue closer economic partnerships, potentially reshaping global trade networks and economic alliances. The speed and scale of the agreements are historic. Negotiators from both countries reportedly moved faster than most analysts expected, indicating a sense of urgency and strategic foresight. Sources suggest that both governments see this as a once-in-a-generation opportunity to strengthen their economies, boost global influence, and prepare for a rapidly changing international trade environment. The long-term consequences are still unfolding, but one thing is clear. The economic landscape of North America is entering a new era of cooperation, competition, and opportunity. Canada and Mexico are positioning themselves not merely as trade partners, but as strategic allies with shared interests and mutual growth goals. The impact on markets, industries, and citizens will be felt for years to come. For policymakers, the agreements raise questions about future trade priorities, labor standards, environmental responsibilities, and geopolitical strategy. For citizens, they offer the promise of new jobs, technological innovation, and increased access to goods. For investors and businesses, they signal unprecedented opportunities and challenges in navigating a rapidly evolving North American economy. In conclusion, the Canada-Mexico trade developments are more than just economic news. They are a historic shift in North American strategy, with implications for politics, business, labor, and society. How both nations manage implementation, public perception, and cross-border collaboration will determine whether these deals achieve their full potential or encounter obstacles along the way. One thing is certain: this is a story that will dominate headlines, boardrooms, and political discussions for years to come, and its effects will be felt across the continent in ways both visible and unexpected.